They say we are the most beautiful of monsters. Toreador. The name alone is a performance. Whisper it in the right circle, and you'll see it land. Watch someone straighten their posture, glance into a mirror, suddenly aware of themselves in the presence of something exquisite. We are the artists, yes. The lovers, the muses, the dreamers. But that's just the surface. We are not collectors of beauty, we are its prisoners. To be a Toreador is to live in a constant state of awe and agony. We feel everything. Every note of music rings through our bones. Every stolen kiss becomes a poem. We don't just see the world, we ache for it. We hunger for beauty like others hunger for blood, and sometimes we do it both at once. The other clans see us as soft, decorative, distracted. Let them. Let them think our passions are petty. Let them believe our elegance makes us fragile. There's nothing more dangerous than something beautiful that knows it is eternal. We walk through cities like ghosts wrapped in velvet. Our shadows fall across stages and salons, galleries and graveyards. We move through the centuries as if gliding across a ballroom floor, never breaking rhythm. While others war for territory, we claim influence. When they dominate through fear, we command through longing. I've seen Kindred bend the knee to a painting. I've watched elders lose centuries of control to the sound of a violin. I've seen entire domains shift hands after a single performance. That is our weapon. We don't conquer with claws, we conquer with wonder. But within our clan, beyond the lace and the music and the laughter, there is a war far older than most care to admit. A quiet, silken war, not of swords, but of truth. There are the artists and the posers. We never say it out loud, not in public. That would be gauche. But the distinction is there, always, woven into our glances, hidden in the applause that lingers just a second too short, or the invitation that never arrives. The artists are the true believers, the ones who suffer for the work. They vanish into decades, chasing a single perfect line, a single perfect phrase, a single perfect feeling. They bleed for their creations. They lose themselves in the act of making something real, something that moves, that endures, that wounds. The poseurs? They imitate the aesthetic. They perform the part. They wear the costume of beauty without ever carrying its weight. They drink deeply of art, but never create it. They speak in borrowed verses, strike practiced poses, and survive on the attention of others, never the expression of themselves. And we feel the difference. An artist draws the gaze like gravity. They leave silence in their wake, not because they demand it, but because they earn it. A poseur reflects that gaze back at you, but offers nothing deeper than what you bring with you. I have been both. Many of us have. You often begin as a poseur, enchanted by the surface, drunk on your own reflection. But if you stay long enough, if you fall in love with something real, something that breaks you, you change. You stop trying to look beautiful. You start trying to mean something. And that is the line in the sand. The artists create because they have no choice. The poseurs perform because they're afraid of being forgotten. But beauty without pain is just decoration. And we are not made to decorate the night. We are meant to haunt it. There are Toreador who sculpt with bone, others who compose with screams. Some dance with memories that no longer belong to them. We push past pleasure into obsession because anything else feels empty. We become the art because the act of creation is the only thing that reminds us we're still capable of feeling. That pursuit, it carves into us. To stay inspired is to stay vulnerable. It means opening yourself over and over to things that can hurt you. And we do, gladly. Because pain is better than numbness. Because the echo of something real is better than all the hollow applause in the world. We don't live in the world as it is. We live in how it could be, should be, must be. And when you live like that long enough, reality starts to taste like ash. We fall in love 1,000 times, and we forget their names, but not their faces. Not the way their voice cracked in the middle of a song. Not the warmth of their skin before the embrace stole it. We remember those things because we have to. Because if we forget, then what was the point of any of it? This is what it means to be Toreador. To hunger for more than blood, to thirst for meaning, to suffer for beauty, and to suffer again to share it. We aren't like the other kindred in many ways. We aren't warlords. We aren't monsters, not exactly. Not in the same way they are. We are what they dream of late at night when they remember what it was like to be alive. But even dreams fade. Even muses grow quiet. And when that silence comes, even we begin to wonder if it was worth it. I remember her. She wasn't like the others. She didn't wear her art on her sleeve. She was the art. The kind of presence that didn't announce itself. It invited you in. Slowly, like a dream you didn't cherish until you woke up and missed it. She didn't paint. She didn't compose. She spoke. She lived. Every movement, every glance, every moment she shared felt intentional, not performative. Sacred. We met under strange circumstances. A conversation about marble turned into a debate about grief. She said beauty wasn't about perfection, it was about the ache. The way something almost breaks you. I remember thinking no one had ever said it better. We spent decades together, orbiting one another in salons and crypts, old castles and candlelit attics. She had a way of finding the oldest, most ruined pieces and making them feel like sacred temples. She said decay was just beauty in slow motion. She loved the stars, always looking up, always chasing some light she could never quite touch. She told me once, they burn just to be seen. Isn't that the most honest thing in the world? I didn't understand it then. I thought she was just being poetic. But she meant it. She always meant it. And then she started to fade. Not physically. No, she was still breathtaking, still flawless. But the light behind her eyes, the fire we all recognized in each other, it dimmed. Subtly at first. She stopped singing to herself. She stopped tracing her fingers along old paintings. She stopped responding to beauty the way she used to. It was like watching a masterpiece lose color, slowly, painfully. I tried to reach her. Toreador don't talk about pain with each other, not really. Not in ways unrelated to the act of creation. But I tried. She said she was tired, that nothing stirred her anymore, that every note sounded the same, every face blurred together, that beauty had become noise. I told her we all felt that way sometimes. It was just ennui, a season. She smiled, and there was a sadness in it deeper than anything I'd ever seen. She said, I don't want to fade. I want to end while I remember what it meant to feel. She didn't come back to the Haven after that. There was a note, a pressed flower, a few lines, more gratitude than goodbye, and I knew where to find her. The rooftop was silent, the sky just beginning to turn gold at the edges. She stood barefoot at the edge, wearing something simple, something that belonged to another time. The sky behind her was already bleeding into pale gold, the kind of light you forget exists after too many years in the dark. She didn't turn when I arrived, just stood there, still, listening. Like the morning was singing to her, and she didn't want to miss a note. When she finally spoke, her voice was quiet, but certain. I'm tired of the night, she said. She turned to me then, and there was no sorrow in her eyes, only stillness, only peace. She said, I miss the warmth. I miss the way the light felt on my skin, not what it looked like, what it felt like. Everything here is beautiful, but it's all so cold. I don't want to fade in the dark. I want to go where I can remember who I was before all this. She stepped closer to the edge, her silhouette framed in the soft gloom of dawn. I don't burn anymore, she said. So maybe I'll become the light instead. And then she turned back to the sun and stepped forward. I didn't scream, didn't cry. Anything I could have said felt too small. I stayed there until the sun was too high, hidden beneath the stone and shadow. I could still smell the jasmine from her hair on the breeze. Still hear her voice, not speaking, but humming, like she always did when she was about to vanish into thought. That was the night I stopped believing we were blessed. People say we Toreador are in love with beauty, but the truth is, we're in love with the idea of beauty, something eternal, something untouchable. And when the world stops reflecting it back at us, when even we begin to forget what it feels like, that's when we break. We don't shatter, we don't rage, we don't burn down cities like the Bruja or howl in the night like the Gangrel. We go quiet. We go still. We go up to the rooftops and watch the sunrise. We Toreadors are not guardians of beauty, we are addicts, slaves to feeling, lovers of a light that we can never truly hold. We preserve what others forget, but we pay for that memory. And some of us, those who feel too much, too deeply, are broken by it. I still go to the salons. Still paint smiles with my mouth and pour wine that will never sustain me. I am exactly who they expect me to be. But when the parties end and the lights die down, and I walk alone through halls that echo with forgotten laughter, I remember her. And I wonder how long I have left before I forget what beauty ever felt like. We Toreador do not die in flames. We die in silence.